TGCRequiem, we're back with Goryo's as Foretold. We're on the draw here, and opponent cap 7. I think this is a solid 7. Certainly we could die to some super aggro decks with this. Definitely could get beaten up a little bit with hand disruption, but I think that double as Foretold helps there. Looks like we're playing either... Oh, okay, so we're actually playing Colorless Eldrazi. So unfortunately MTGO is stupid. I shouldn't say that. Sorry. MTGO doesn't tell you when your opponent uses Serum Powder. So what they had is they looked at their opening 7. They mulliganed it using Serum Powder, which says add colorless to your mana pool anytime you could mulligan and Serum Powder is in your hand. You may exile all the cards from your hand and draw that many cards. So they basically mulligan this 7 to get a different 7. They did pitch an Eldrazi, Temple, Seagate, and Ghost Quarter, which is relevant, but this is the Colorless Eldrazi, worth noting. Chalice on 1, not very strong against us. Pretty good. So thankfully we're not like showing our hand too early here, because really we're looking for Chalice on, or Chalice is going to hurt us the most if it's on 0 or 2. So, anywho. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Chalice here. Reshaper is fine. I like here just preparing to Izzet Charm to draw 2, discard 2 at the opponent's end step. Not to say that our opponent doesn't have a strong hand at all, but I have to feel like they can't have too explosive of a hand based on what they pitched. But that is also me just inferring very likely inaccurately. Okay, so they pitched a Simian Spirit Guide there to cast this Thought-Knot Seer. Obviously, Goryo's Vengeance is the best card for them to take here. I think we just let this resolve and then Izzet Charm afterwards. They might start trying to go after our As Fortolds. Again, as expected, they took the Goryo's Vengeance. We hit like Living End, Deceiver Exarch, that's just gain. So that's kind of why we're making the way we are. We can actually buy ourselves a lot of time, the Deceiver Exarch here. I think it's more important to get an As Foretold down. Still use the Deceiver Exarch the next. The Scavenger Ground is a pretty good land here. Basically, that just gives them a basically an activated Bojuka Bog. Really makes us wish we kept one of those Kiki-Jikis in hand. Seen much of that in So what is our line here? Again, we can actually tap down their Thought Knot here, block the Matter Reshaper. We could just try and Faithless Looting into like kill spells, get into a Goryo's Vengeance situation. Astral's pretty good here. Living End still blows up their board, even if they go to break up our combo. I think we actually just kind of force the issue here. Lightning and Receiver Exarch. Pretty great. So what we'll plan to do here is we will Deceiver Exarch, tapping down on Matter Reshape. Oh, I'm sorry. Deceiver Exarch, untapping a land, and then Lightning. And then use the Exarch to block the Matter Reshaper. Serious lag right now. Totally fine. They use the Scavenger's Ground to actually cast that, which gives us a window here. That's awesome. I guess when we cast it with As Foretold, we didn't have to untap our own Black Cleave Cliffs. We could have tapped on the Matter Shaper. I silly. So we can actually Tolaria West into Living End and kill our opponent this turn if they don't Thought Knot Seer us. Unbelievable. That's definitely a misplay on the opponent's side, unfortunately for them. Fortunately for us. We'll actually be able to hold up Izzet Charm as well. And before they even get the chance, we'll go ahead and combo right now. That way they have to use their dismember at the moment if they have it. I do not have the ability to both cast Dismember and pay for his charm. Now if they have two more, they have one more Dismember in hand. That's another. So. And we got that one. Woo! A little worried there that our opponent was going to make us play through that considering we were hitting some lag. Now, knowing Eldrazi, this colorless version, is running Chalice, that's painful for us. We definitely want the Ingot Chewers in, we want the Abrade, the Rakdos Charm. Again, Chalice on 0 is the biggest problem. Opt is great here. Not Opt, Ceremonious Rejection. I do like Lightning Axe. I think we actually pull at least most of the Ancestral Visions here. I don't know that I actually feel. I guess they're going to run some Dismembers. We could hold up a spell. Again, our opponent let us win there. We should not have won that. They just kind of misplayed a little bit. I feel like we do want to be fast against them. I don't think we really need Ancestral. Dispel's really only going to help us against a couple cards. I'm gonna run this. So this looks like a pretty good hand. Relic's fine. Don't have a problem with Relic at all. Gonna play Tarn. We'll hold off on the Faithless Looting so we're ready to fight through a Relic. Okay, though, Jace will just kind of help us filter if we want to do like a natural Kiki-Jiki. We assume we have a Thought-Knot Seer coming down here. Interestingly, our opponent does not have mana up for Relic this turn to pop it. So we could wipe their board if we drew a Ask Foretold and they do not take the Living End. With Faithless Looting, that's fine. Return clock here, not terribly concerned. The Relic's a little worse, but if they tap out, that's fine. Yeah, so now we're going to start to be in trouble. It sure is good. We can't sing Chewer without a Vogue. That actually buys us a blocker. We have to pitch the Simian Spirit Guide. I'd rather hold up Is It Charm. Probably going to need to Is It Charm to kill the Matter Shaper here. That's our opponent. Reality Smashers. Done either way. I'm not really sure. Living End to me is the card to take, and As Foretold draws me to. Like, I could see the desire to maybe take the Kiki, but really Living End's the only card that's out for us. If we get an As Foretold here, we can Living End, wipe the board, have a blocker for the Meta Shape. Not through a chalice. Almost certainly game. Alright, on to game. So we'll be on the play for the first time here in game 3. So we know they got relics, we've got chalices to deal with. I don't know if there's a whole lot more we do here. Again, Ancestral just looks a lot worse with the chalices. They're not really using their graveyard. Anger is decent removal, but I don't know that we really want to play a long rolling game with them. I think we want to try and get underneath their combo. I guess if we're trying to get underneath the combo, maybe what we're looking for is actually the full Simeon package, so to speak. Don't love Dispel, but I feel like we might just need. Hope for the kind of nut turn 2 draw here. Unkeepable. So this is keepable, but we really are hurting by not having a blue mana source. As much as I want to keep that, we really need a blue for this hand to be functional. So opponents, if they have Serum Powder in their hand based on the play, they kept it anyway, which is probably a sign of a good hand. Turn 1 Chalice on 0. Always a disappointment. Now we're really looking to try and draw into Goryo's Vengeance. Goryo's Vengeance would give us a window, get a Grizzlebrand, draw a bunch of cards, possibly pop that Chalice before they can get a Chalice on 2. So Area West doesn't really do anything for us. We don't need a lot of blue. We are more on the, at least for the moment, the hard cast. Kiki plan, so I think we do need the land. So the thought is the opponent didn't play Temple, so they're probably not going to be able to go Thought-Knot Seer next turn. We draw an artifact removal spell and we Teleria West into a Living End. That is actually pretty strong. I think we're actually going to pitch Kiki and Lightning Axe here. I don't think our opponent's going to be putting enough pressure on us fast enough. This kind of blanks their Thought-Knot Seer to some extent. And again, we have 4 artifacts that allow us to turn this Teleria West into a board sweeper and potentially a Grizzlebrand Kiki-Jiki if they don't have any relics to pop. We do have a Scavenger Grounds. Oh, the question here is, do we Teleria right now? I don't think so. Don't think so. I give them a reason to try and tap out with their Scavenger Grounds, Teleria on our turn. They'll have 2 mana. Cast any combination of spells we need. Now, I mean, from my opponent's perspective, it absolutely makes sense, especially now that they have a Mutavault on the battlefield. Just more pressure. They don't have to do anything. There's no point in tapping the Scavenger Grounds. That is how they lost the first game. Target creature. So we could cast that off as Foretold and then pay the additional 5. I think that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take 2, but do it in the hopes to save our Teleria West. Hope here is that they tap out just enough that they can't activate Scavenger Grounds. Reality Smasher is a good draw. We would actually have to pitch Teleria West to kill that. I think we just kill the Mimic here. So that Mimic was going to become a 5/5. Like, really our only out here is to draw like an Abrade, an Ingot Chewer, Rakdos Charm. Right now, they did try and cast their own Chalice on 0 into it. Oh, that's the wrong half of it. So we had the ability to go get the Living End. What we needed was a way to blow up the Chalice. And unfortunately, that's going to be game if they activate the Mutavault. One bummer is you can't get an Engineered Explosives and then cast an Engineered Explosives on 0 into a Chalice on 0. Similar to how our opponent just tried to cast the Chalice. Palace. Play the gemstone caverns on top of another gemstone cavern. What my opponent's trying to do. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's game. Yeah, so we weren't anywhere close. Anyway, well, hopefully you enjoyed watching, and we'll be back with more soon.